4 minutes before 11 o'clock at night. And this is the euro versus the yen on the 4-hour chart. So, after a big 4-hour session, a lot of movement, this is a 50 pip, from here, black line to black line is 50 pips. And when you see a 50 pip bar, I would not put a buy stop and a sell stop on that. So let's just mark off those kind of situations. Very simple criteria. It is the true range of each bar. So this way we don't have to use any formulas or anything like that. Use a clean and simple situation. Okay, so we've got, I'm going to say 50 pips or more. We just wouldn't put a buy stop and a sell stop. And then I would say if it's less than 25 pips, yeah, you could do that. So since from here to here is 25 pips, here is a 25 pip bar. So you could either build a hedge here, get sell stops pending here, and buy stops pending here, and have them a little bit different in more than one ticket. So one of the tickets has a target of, say, 25 pips. So you get in here, it's going to take 25 pips. It's kind of a break-even situation if you don't cancel these buy stops and use them for, I don't know what. But what you want to do is put in a sell stop that lasts for 8 hours maybe, or all day long. Now, when the market goes screaming up and it clips this wick, and that's just also just before that we had a sell signal. So it's kind of a unique setup there, because if you sell at the market every time it's up, so you'd sell, sell, sell. When you sell there, you could still have a trailing sell limit in case it goes higher, which it did. So you get to pick up that trade. So the big down bar here, also at the same time, when you're selling with a tight stop because it went up a little bit, these are the lowest risk entries if you're talking about pip risk, which is not necessarily dollar risk. If you sell, you sell with a tight stop, and maybe you get stopped out of something up here, but pretty hard. If you put your stop there, which is where the sell limits come in to go the other way for those other people, they didn't trade that other strategy. You're doing pretty good there, right? Now, the only kind of heartbreaker here must be that if you set your target to risk 25 pips and you're trying to make 100 pips and you think that's pretty good, as you see this collapse and collapse, you think, and that's when it would occur to you that you could re-enter here on the same criteria. It is a small rally. Any small rally, you're going to sell. Same as in an uptrend, or even if it's not in an uptrend. If it makes a small pullback, you buy. Small pullback, you buy. Now here, you lost. But if you took the same criteria here, you would have done a cancel replace. I mean, you would have sold here, got stopped out of your short, your long, and gone short, right? So if you just play it at the market like that, if it's up a little bit, if it's up big, you don't sell that. If it's down a little bit, you buy with a tight stop. It's letting you put the 25 pip stop to make 50, 100, whatever. So isn't this much better? This guy was talking on the some old video I did where I'm criticizing no nonsense, and I go to the guy's channel. He's got 3 things he subscribed to, and one of them's no nonsense. So I realized people walked into the world of no nonsense thinking he has some type of crystal menagerie of indicators, and he's always adding to it. You cannot beat the line chart. This is closing prices. It tells you the whole story. It also tells you how tight of a ticket to place and when to get in if you're a so-called trend trader. Now, if you think this is going down because you have a 40 EMA on it, that could be a problem, because unless you trade, unless you look at this thing as it's happening right now. So what is it right now? It's a triple top. Would you sell that? You could. Where would you get out? As soon as it starts to carve into this stuff, you got to be cashing out of something. And this is not a lot of this is a lot of trading, but it's not a lot of pips. So when it first came up into this, yeah, you could have sold that, and you'd have to buy it back in here, right? You got to buy it back in this hole. Then it just kind of nicks the wick there, kind of traps people. But it's all right if you're the guy that's going to buy the new lows here for the last 4-hour period, okay? And also, you have bars that are under 25 pips. There's buy stops stacking up here. People are trading that. Even if you're not, people are. And that's what's driving the market. Plus, we have this triangle wedge, which just means we have a void of space above giving us this. So it's not the pattern of the stuff, it's what causes around it. Anybody selling above this to here, they got that scalp off there. So it's a high probability trade. It's just that it is not going to be where you sell here and it's going to go like this. Not a Hannah forex trade. And this is. If you bought down here, if you were keen enough to realize that this is where optimal trade entry, dare I say, this is the place to get in. Does this show up very often? Not really, but here is the micro version. If this is the big macro version, here's the fractal version. You're just buying a stop hunt. Just like this, you're going to buy this hole. See, this hole is just bigger than this hole, but it's the same hole created by the rally. So when the market went up, it just went up so severely here. And then it came all the way back now. I'm sure people were buying this top internally, and they were buying off of this. Oh, it's going to come back to here, and look at it. It's just going to go in an uptrend. So when it goes for this slam, which had to be a surprise to people, because they thought after this, people had their trend lines in place, and they were like, no, this is totally, in fact, they probably bought here, like, it's 4-hour chart, but, buying here, and then they're just like, what in the fuck is going on here? Like, where did this move come from? And trend traders will claim, well, it came from this trend line here, see? So everybody's trading that. All right, but what it really is that this dead cat bounce is like almost brings the cat back to life, I mean, there's quite a move. And it doesn't make it to here, and it does make it above this into this right up to here. And this is also a pretty clean move. This is a 1, 2, 3. And this is why Elliott wave is full of shit, because if Elliott wave is supposed to be the biggest wave, this is a big wave. This should be wave 3. This should be wave 4, and it shouldn't go past here. And so this trying to find the wave count and all this stuff. I guess it's the way to make a scenario, even though it may never turn out exactly like you think, because where have you ever seen this pattern? Never before. Like, so this walks through here, this little top bottom thing. You see versions of it, but it's like clouds. I mean, you're never going to see it. Look up at the sky. It's never going to see the same patterns. Also, let's go to the daily chart. And this is another reason why The no-nonsense guy is really pretty lazy or dumb, because you go to the daily chart and there's not a lot of trades. The only good trades on the daily chart are kind of like counter trades, scaling in against the herd, and he said once, yeah, you get a runner. You get a runner? Like, in other words, this is just, you get lucky and one of them takes off. It's crazy. Gee. Okay, well, I mean, I guess, but the fact that you picked some horse to ride because you filtered that, you took the market and first you made it so you can't trade during the news. Then you said, well, we can't trade unless there's a lot of volume, and we can't trade unless the sun's setting. It looks orange. I mean, the rule list is incredible that this guy has. And then he puts a trade on. Then if we get one that runs, wow, what's the chance of that? I mean, pretty rare. I mean, all this has to be a screaming market. So when he says that the markets were no good, he means they're not strong trends. A trend trader needs a strong trend. And then he's saying, well, the euro versus the dollar, not a good market. Yeah, it's too many people and it's too smooth a data. I don't get it. Look at this market here. What do you think of this one? This is the daily euro versus the yen. Did anybody write an algo for this one yet? Just think about that for a minute. Just look at that data and ask yourself, well, what algo could have made money during this move? And what about all these wicks? What's going on here? Is this noise? Can we get rid of that? Break out your trusty Ranko chart and just compress all the data to shit so you don't even know what's going on. How about this? This is an uptrend, right? This is an uptrend here. I gotta figure out how this drawing tool is bullshit on this thing. It's gotten worse. They added some feature to it, and I don't want to even have to look into how to turn it off, where you end up moving this shit around like this. What the fuck? So, like this move here. Can you say that that's a channel? And, oh yeah, look at this channel I traded. Oh, that was great until this. It is so ridiculous. I know people want to see patterns. But support and resistance should do it. These are 100 pip moves, basically. Up, down, up, down. So if you think about buying new lows, right, since these two bars are too big, in my opinion, for breakout trades, and on the daily, it's kind of tough. I mean, here's a breakout. Look at small range on the daily and then just rips. And once again, sellers come in and actually go lower. This is severe range trading. Is this going in an uptrend? Kinda. But you must believe that if you bought here, did you survive this before it went up? If you bought here, yeah, it's going up. I mean, where did you get in? You'd have to get in against the trend. And that should be simple enough. If you're one of these no-nonsense people, is your baseline saying up? Okay, buy every time it's down. So you're going to buy here. You're going to buy. Now people say, wait a minute, you're going to buy all that? Yeah, I guess so, because, this one here becomes a winner, and then this one here becomes a winner. Because the way you're situated in the trade. And you would have to buy 1, 2, 3 days here. Don't buy the up days. You just buy this day and this day. Who's getting the better entry? So the no-nonsense people are buying here. Good volume, we're up. Okay, they just lost this much money. Are they going to get out here? Are they going to just take that piece out? Why aren't they buying the stop hunt down here? They really can't see that wick there? Gee, I wonder why it reversed there. That's crazy. I wonder why when it came down here, look at this pounding. Oh. So this wick pullback here, On the 4 hour looks very dramatic and kind of looks by itself. That is the pullback that was showing in the 4 hour chart. Back to the 4 hour chart here. So it's spaced very far apart, but it's just a couple days. It's an amazing entry, isn't it? And this whole marching thing up here, wow, that must have been pretty painful if you're on the 4 hour chart. Now the daily, it doesn't look like anything. You know, that's another thing is how long you're going to be in these trades. And there'll be some fluctuation to your equity. But so on the 4 hour chart, that walk up is nothing more than this. And this would qualify almost as a breakout trade. Look, a very small day here. Trend trader's entry. And it's kind of over. The move's over. Another thing is you close below this complete contrarian entry. Because normally if you close below that, you're supposed to sell. Just like if you close above this. Oh, look, we closed above. It's real bullish. Let's get in. Yeah, that's a great idea, Hank. Think about that all by yourself, did you? Yeah, me and my mentor, my guru. All right. Let's get this thing cleaned up. Okay, next problem. So this is the euro dollar. And I ran some scripts on this one. When we got above this line here, so we got smashing up, put these pullback tickets in and got filled on some. And at the very top rack there I got filled. Or no, I bought this at the market recently, but I just pulled the trigger at 18K. So I just been trading this with scripts and manual at the same time. Because I wanted to see these filled. These are the ones I made quite a bit of money on trading in the other demo using. This buys 1 pip to 8 pips deep with a 15 pip stop for 1 hour. And this buys 2 for 8 hours. This thing is buying 2 to 18 pips with a 30 pip stop. Big fat stop. So that's what these tickets are. And when it was dropping, when the market went up there, I thought it's going to pull back. So I hurry up and I'm going to hit that button. And I hurried it up and hit it. So this is what you end up with. See if I can zoom out and get the moment of entry there. Go to the 15-minute chart. So it's kind of hard to see. Wait, let me move this over. Okay, so the market goes to here. And I'm like, oh, dude, they got to pull that back. So I hit that script. That's a double click that just drops this rack, which is what I run on the tablet all the time because I don't want to have to drag and drop and find the precise. I don't really care because I got a lot of tickets. To me, it's not risky at all. I don't understand what this guy's talking about. He's also saying that you got to understand how volume works. Now, you got to understand volume, you see. If you know how to read it, it's a little tea leaves, but I don't want to have to read it. I want to just look at it and know. Look at this. We just pulled back to here. Is that not a great place to buy? Looking down for the volume for confirmation. There's no confirmation here either. I just don't. For me, confirmation just doesn't exist. All right, let me delete this stuff off of here. Let's see if I got this control weight. Yeah, I gotta put a hotkey on that. Go to the infamous navigator. So here, it's a little trick here for the, so we can keep that closed. So I set a hotkey for this. I just go for Control Z. This seems to be my favorite Control Z. Alright, let's clean this thing up. There you go. Save some the pain of it all. So now you get a little triangle for me right now. And alright, so this was the obstacle to get over this hump here. We made it. This is US Open. This is just before news. US. And then we come to here. And at that point, I'm buying heavily on these pullbacks. Then this is London Open. Not much of a sell-off. So this was the obstacle. Can we get above here? It's around 30. Go ripping up today. And naturally people sold here. And I held this thing. I added to the position. So I added to it here. And then here was those limit grids that I just double clicked in as this came back. If those haven't cashed out yet, but the other tickets have no take profit. I'm just manual trading it. No stops, no take profit, risking the whole account. Only up about $1,500. Start with $5,000. So I waited for the final destination. It's going to be up here. So I'm going to weasel to there. The selling's going to start from here on up. And here would be intense selling. We'll probably get out there and dump it. On the daily, it looks like an amazing so-called uptrend, where the final destination here is going to be very much way the hell up there. So if you look at this as being, and look at the weekly chart, kind of tells you the structure here as you get this perfect top become a bottom here, and this was the clip into this window. They pull it back. Now another move to this price is where I want to start selling, and this would be a big deal. But this has been a long, brutal, and look at this walk down. I mean, my God, the weekly chart, right? Seems like 3 weeks up, 1 week down, 1 week up. I mean, it's just zigzag to hell. And this is still the big contention, is this price here, because this is the double. That's the big pivot. Trying to get past that and start to go up. And the monthly, so we're halfway through this month. And look at this monthly. Look at this meltdown over here. How about this? How about this move? People say, what about this move? Yeah, no shit. What about this move? So this is why there is no chance. There's not even a pullback here. It's very, very difficult because I'm sure that the trend traders on the weekly must have said, wow, that is like the best run that system has ever done. And then here, you just get whipsawed, and you would basically, if you ran that same system here, you'd blow up the account. Right? You'd destroy it, you know. This is pretty quiet here, pretty tame now. So we're going to get some more intensity and quiet market daily. Okay, so daily has some promise to go after, kind of creep up here, and these will be the obstacles, these tops here at the classic big round number of $1.20. It's all right. Make it to $1.20 here by Friday. Get out, bank, whatever. Whatever we get out of that. So I'm looking for the move to start into Well, today's Thursday, coming Thursday, tomorrow. And then that's it for the week. And sure, it could keep going up, but I'm always going to get on pullbacks there. Looks like the pound broke out of that. So your non-directional traders made money there. Just trading it back to there and just putting in the, once again, just double click the limits. So here, if there was, I can just run it anyway. I'll show you double clicks because I normally run the double clicks instead of, the drops are just too much work. So here's the very aggressive, if it's 8 hours, to me it's really aggressive. Here's 6 to 18 pips with 30 pips stop, 8 hours. It's probably going to fill that. This is not as aggressive. I mean, it's aggressive. That is 14K I just put it. That's 14K. That's a lot for 8 hours, so that'll probably fill. But that's how much money you got. So here, I'm going to do that same ticket here. I like it. 14K. Way out here in no man's land. There's a stop. The stop is half a pip away. I think it's like 1 pip apart, and this is like 2 pips apart. So here's the 40 pip deep version. 12 hours for that. So that to me is a lot easier. Plus I know exactly, if I click each one of those, I know what that's worth. What else can I do? This one, I'll put the same array in here. This is 6 to 18 pips, 8 hours, and then the 20 pipper. 8 hours, and then the big super deep 12 hour. And just let it fill if it fills. On the 1 hour chart, you can see that it looks more fillable than it does on the dailies. So all the market has to do is sweep down there, and I give it plenty of room, and it's pretty hard for them to stop me out of that. It's also pretty hard for them to fill me on that, I think. You know, they take a news event, but you can see how this ticket here, this rack here, would have been perfect fit here. So you've got to get the fit right, and how many times you hit that button. Because a smash down here would have been beautiful. Okay, looks like the euro's taken off. So I think we're on our way. On our way up here. Well, putting some scalps in. Let's scalp a little bit of that. Take a ride north. Look at the 30-minute chart. Look at the clock. 5 minutes before the bottom of the hour. I think we got some clear sailing to the north here. You can zoom out here on the euro. I just don't know why this guy wouldn't trade the euro either. It's just such easy money. It's so obvious what's going on. Okay, so the half-hour chart. I'm going to hold that line there. This is the triangle. Look for a breakout, cash out there. And then I'm going to come in with limits. So the trick was getting above that. As soon as I got above that, the sellers came in. They pulled it back in the half hour. So I bought that pull. That was the first pullback I bought after, after we took out the high of this day. Took out the high of this day and the high of that previous day. We knew there'd be sellers, and so I added to the position here by just dropping limits. And then I did that. Well, I didn't get a chance to do it. See, the problem is you got to keep coming back and doing that same trade. Because you could have done it here on these wicks. Could have dropped by limits. and scalped out to here. They're built into there, built into scalps, on top. So right now I'm scalping, but I've got this big position in. So I could come over here and I could hit the buy markets here. Enough margin right now to do it. So let me hit a couple of those market orders here. Okay, here's buy at the market with a 12 pip stop to make 14. Not too many tight ones here. These aren't exactly scalps. These are like trend trades, but those are all 1Ks. It's not using a lot of margin. But there you go. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm looking to take out this. I'll be cashing out on those tickets. That's from the previous plunge limits, though. And the ones I just hit, you can almost barely see the blue markers up here where those targets will be. Got an arrow on that. All right, that's it.